Do anything or break anything? Okay, so we're going to quickly go through the takeaways. I want to give you most of the hour to work on the topic questions then your time. There is no new con for tonight for reasons I'll get to in just a second. Okay, I say slope, you think? Yay, I say derivative, you think? Slope. Yay, we're getting it. Okay, we've had our first few derivative rules. There they are. Derivative of a constant equals 0, right? Because constants represent horizontal lines. Even if they're a constant in an expression, this is ignored and still horizontal lines. Derivative, here's the power rule. I changed it a little bit from yesterday. I stuck with our constant up front. So we are 3x to the 7th. Right, bring down the 7, multiply it by a 3, bring down the 7, multiply it by x to the 6. One lower power. Okay, and that applies as long as you can write it as a power, a variable to a power. Okay, as long as we can write it that way, that rule works. Does not have to be polynomial. It does not have to look like this. And we did one yesterday, right? It was like 5 over x cubed. Okay. All right, and then we talked about this, which we called the limit method. And we did a whole bunch of algebra and limits and stuff and got a number, typically, right, back in the last unit. But now we're looking at this more as the definition of the derivative. And so looking at this expression becomes a skill of finding the function. And we talked about yesterday that we can find the function a couple of different ways. We can look here, and maybe this is a number that's substituted, or we can look here and look for the number plus h. And then we have this alternative expression that we sometimes throw at you, and it means the same thing. And if you notice, the function is right here. In that case, the function is easier to find. Okay, so once you find the function, you grab the function, and you do this to find the derivative. We don't do the limit method anymore. And then we say for that. Okay. We know that these rules we learned are for polynomial expressions and any expression where we have x to a power. Okay, I said that just a second ago. Okay. After today's topic questions, TQs, you're gonna start in. Well, you don't have to start in, but really the next thing I'm gonna assign is exam 1 corrections. So what I do is, if you notice, you don't have to get in the Blackboard and look at it now, but when you go into Blackboard and go into Unit 1, where you took the test, way at the bottom is going to be an assignment where you submit your corrections. Okay, and so just really similar to what you did on the free response, you're going to do your corrections. So you have this form for doing the corrections, and let's say this was no calculator. Let's say in the no calculator portion, let's say I got questions 2 and 4 correct. So you just put an X in those boxes because you don't have to correct something that's correct. Makes sense? And then I would expect to see in 1 and 3 and 5, I'd expect to see a worked out correct solution or a rationale. I picked this and now I know it's wrong because I really had to do this limit thing or something like that. Okay, and then same for the free response would be on the back side of that. So you do those corrections, you take pictures, you upload those pictures into Blackboard, and then I will review those and post a grade for those. So the idea is do those corrections, make sure the corrections are correct. It's the whole process, right? I want you to realize what you did wrong and how it should be done correctly. And then I give you happy points back. Bless you. Okay, disregard number 6. Okay, just general comments in any exam. Typically a score on the free response question of 6 or higher is really good. So I tell students this all the time. Calculus exam, I don't know about the other AP exams, but the calculus exam is not really meant to be finished. It's really not. They give you a whole bunch of questions and they're like, hey, if you can get through 2/3 of them, you're going to be a pretty solid 4 or 5 student. Okay. So, that, and so, what we're looking at basically is like a 6 on the free response, because every free response question in whole, is 9 points. And then so in multiple choice question, I would shoot for getting 3 out of the 5 multiple choice questions correct. Okay. And you'll be really solid on the AP exam. I promise you will be. Okay, so questions on that. Okay. Whoops. Wrong clicking thing. There we go. Whoops. My animation is out of order again. There we go. Okay, so today's activity. In College Board, you have Unit 2, Day 4 topic questions. And then tonight's homework would be to do the exam corrections. The exam corrections, I'm going to have them do Monday. Okay, so you have the weekend to work on them. If you want to crank them up tonight and hand it and upload them tonight so that they're there tomorrow, awesome. If you don't want to do that, that's okay. And then for tonight, you want to do your Unit 5 notes for tomorrow. So today's focus is really topic questions, and then anything after that, whether you want to get Old Ton done or start on your corrections, totally up to you. Is that right? Okay. In your groups, crank it out. I'll be around to check in notes for 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, 1, 2, and 3. In just a sec.